Mess out here if you can't see, but we're going to be doing a little fender flare install because someone's got to get an inspection and move to a new state where they don't allow tire poke. About 2 inches of poke. We had to get those pocket style fender flares. They came just matte black, but we're planning on doing a color match video in the future. So here's the fender flares. Ordered these off AmericanTruck.com, made by Red Rock Off-Road. So that's a rear one right there. So we got our fender flares. You can see we got the rear ones I showed you earlier. The front ones have a little bit more of a chiseled point. Comes with your hardware bag. Screws, clips. There's little clips that hold it in along with the screws that go into the plastic. This is your slotted, so it just goes around the edge, so whatever touches your paint job, this will cushion that. Rivets that go in these holes, they're all basically for looks. Don't drill holes in your fender wells because these are just for looks. It doesn't actually bolt in that way. Alright, so for installing these, you're going to need a Torx bit. So this is a T40 that fits in the bolt end. For the nut, it's going to be a 13 millimeter. I just put it on my drill just to make it quick. Just make sure you don't tighten it too hard and do something to the plastic. So we're going to get putting this together. So basically just put this through here, lock nut on the inside, get it hand tight, flip this over. So stick my Torx bit at the bottom. Boom. Tighten that up. And there you go. You got one installed. So do that to all the holes. Now we got these all in. We're gonna run this now. So we're gonna run this on the back edge and cut it at the end. So anywhere that touches the paint. So you're gonna do it along, and I'd start here, run down, do this, follow this. You don't have to do this edge because this will be under your fender while touching plastic. So it has 3M inside of it, as you can see right here, the 3M. So you gotta get that peeled. Kind of sticks to itself if you pull too much out. So you gotta be careful not to do that. So now we just got to the end. Just gonna cut it. And now you have a fully prepped fender flare that you're ready to put on. It's got the gasket going all the way along the back. We're running out of daylight, so let's get to installing this guy and show you how to do that. And then basically all the fender flares are the same with install. So for your hardware to install it, you have this clip here. So this is gonna slide like this onto the fender. So the lip of the metal is gonna come down, and this is gonna go over that and over the plastic of your fender flare. And then you have your screw that you'd put up, and it screws through the metal. So this is basically like a nut for the screw. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to clean up behind the fender well. So if you come in here, you can see there's these bolts here. So you're going to use these. So you're going to want to take them out. And it looks like it's an 8 millimeter socket for those. So you're going to take these out. There's one down here on this end. You can see at the bottom to do that. So now the thing to know about doing this is because the tire's there, getting a drill in is going to be really hard if you want to use a drill. So you're either going to have to take the tire off, put a jack under it, lift it up enough so you can get the drill in there. I also have this tool, which goes on the drill. It's a right angle adapter. So I'm going to use this to make it quick and easy. Now, come down here, line up this bottom hole. All right, So these screws are all in. You can see there's one right there. Come over here. We got one right up here and two at the bottom. Well, I forgot to put that one in all the way, so we'll put that one in, and then this side will be done. So it looks like you use the supplied screws that are on your truck for the front, and then the rears will use those the screws they provided you with, because you do have a fender liner in there that uses the screws that I just showed you using. So that's the front. We're gonna jump to the back and get those rolling. So that's just give you a little view of it on. So something to do know is usually if you have this Hemi decal here, it's gonna kind of just barely overlap it. If you're OCD, feel free to move it. Get a heat gun, heat it up, take it off, maybe get a new one. They're blacked out. That's what I might do in the future. When I do the video of color matching these fenders, I am gonna probably black out all my emblems at the same time. So I'll give you a little view around, show you how it looks. Come to the front. And now my tires are flush and won't have an issue with inspection at all. Also, it's going to keep rocks and stuff from getting flung up and hitting my doors, because that's something that's been happening a lot. All right, guys, as you can barely see because it's way too freaking dark, we battled and we got these on, even with no sun, using my flashlight on my phone, hence why I probably couldn't film doing the rear ones. But yeah, it was kind of hard in the dark. I wouldn't suggest it or suggest doing it in like inches of freaking mud, but you know, that's how I roll. So we got the rear, we got the front. I'm gonna wash her up and take a little walk around video tomorrow so you can get an idea what these actually look like in the sunlight when a sane person would put these on. All right, guys, wrap up this video. Now it's daylight. Show you what this looks like. So you can see here we got our fender flares both on the front and the back. It was an absolute mess doing it last night, but now my tires are flush, not poking out 2 inches, so inspection shouldn't be an issue, and also keeps the rocks and mud off the side of my truck a little better. See, the back here was basically just like the front. Basically just reused all of the stock, the screws that were holding in the fender liner. Just take those out, put your fender flare up, line up the holes, put your screws back in, and you might have to finagle it a little bit, but it went well. Hope this video was informational and helped you guys with your install, and like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.